All right. Hi, guys. Welcome to Team Training. Naomi and I are taking charge today and for the rest of the year and so on and so forth with our team training. We've decided to keep it Team Coconuts and down for now because we want to raise you guys up. We want to teach you guys how to be the best leaders and franchisees that you can. And by doing that means we need to narrow down and keep this very close knit to everyone who's just in Team Coconuts and Team Pina Coladas, which is really exciting. So today we are talking about the how-to, what we do. I'm going to share what I do every single day that's a non-negotiable, my accountability checklist. And Naomi's going to share what she does. And we also have someone else sharing because there's no right or wrong of how to do this. But I might do something that works for you. Naomi might do something that works for you. You might pinch 10% of my thing, 30% of what Naomi does, 50% of what Tab does. Or you could be doing your own, but it's just so, sometimes we get so caught up in how do we do this? We don't actually take action, where if we can give you the how to, then you can go and take action and grow your business. So I'm not going to share the screen, but I'm going to read off my accountability checklist. So I've started coaching with Simon Mitchell. And I choose to pay for the coaching with him. He is incredible. It's open to everyone. So you guys, it's called, what is he? Network Marketing Mastery. I just love him. He's to the point. He's no bullshit. And he knows how, he gets you to focus on building a big business and not getting caught up on everything else, all the noise that happens. And he's given me an accountability checklist of what I need to do every single day. And it's not that if I don't do it, it's the end of the world. And it's just to get in the habit of doing those things that we kind of postpone and then don't end up doing. We'll do it later, we'll do it later, we'll do it tomorrow, we'll do it tomorrow. And next thing we know, we've snowballed into doing nothing. And it's like the dirty clothes in the laundry, right? It keeps piling up, and we never get any of it done. So this is what I do. And it's just to get me, again, as I said, in the habit of it just becomes natural to do the harder things. So I'm going to read them out and you can write it down because even if you're watching this as the recording, you can watch it back. So this is the order of the things I have to do first. So first thing I do to start my day is when I sit down and do business, do all follow-ups. I might have 3 follow-ups. I might have 15 follow-ups I need to do that day. I go through I use a grid. I use a handwritten one. I write down all the people who I've shared Juice Plus with, do the follow-ups. Because as you all know, and especially those of you who are new, you know that people don't just say yes straight away. You've got to do the follow-up. You've got to keep record of it. So do all follow-ups. And I don't let myself get distracted. And trust me, it's hard. And if I notice that I'm getting distracted, I go back to do all follow-ups. Next, 3 closing conversations a day. Now, closing conversations is closing a deal, a sale, as in, do you want to try the product? Do you want to join the business? Or, and another one for me is even just to get them into my transformations group. So we use the Wellness Girl Transformations. It's up to you if you want to follow that brand or not. And it is the pinned post is my product video. So in there, and I know some of you guys who are using or be working as a wellness girl, we put our potentials into this group. We tag them in the video and it's me just talking about exactly what the product is, black and white. So that's a closing conversation, at least if I can get them into that group, because then the next day they then come under the follow-ups. Engage in my hot list feed. Now, what my hot list is all the people, the new people that I've added on Facebook. So I go to groups that are people like me, and I'm a fit, wellness girl. So whatever you are, mum, into wellness, there's heaps of different stuff out there. Or if you just go and you have friends, or you can just go through your normal friends list. If you're like me and you've been doing this for 4 years and you have gone through your entire friend list and you do need to reach out and make new friends on social media, then that's my hot list. But your hot list could just be the Facebook friends you already have because you're brand new and you've just started, right? So I engage with them. So I go through and I find, and I've written down who I want to talk to, and I go into their Facebook and I start commenting on their posts, liking, whatnot. Just because if you want people to see your posts on social media, you need to be able to engage with them so they see your stuff come up in their timeline. You can't just add people. Facebook wants to know that you have a relationship with them. So you've got to build the relationship like through Facebook if that makes sense. 2 to 3 Facebook posts a day. I stick around the 2 mark at the moment. And at least one of them promotes my lifestyle of this business, whether it's a product or working the business. And then the other one, I post something that usually we know gets more engagement, and it's usually got Daniel in it because everyone loves to see Daniel more than me on my Facebook for some reason. Or something to do with kids, lovey, or silly stuff, something that's going to be funny and create engagement on that post. That's what I do. I also do 1 Instagram post a day. That's only for you people who use Instagram. I post in the Wellness Girl movement, and I post in the Wellness Girl transformation group. Those of you who use the Wellness Girl group, you use that too to post in there because your potentials are in there watching you. If you have, like I know Team Pina Colada, you have an epic customer care group. Even though Naomi might be your NMD upline, but it's for your whole team to use. So are you also posting in there so your customers see you posting that? Or if you run your own group, I know some of you actually run your own group, like Michelle has her What's Cooking Good Looking, posting in that regularly. I also have message 1 team member every day. If you don't have team yet, totally cool. You don't have to do that one. Because if you're starting to grow a big team, and some of you who are hitting SC, SSC, Q&MD, really exciting, you're going to start to get to the point where you're not going to directly know people in your team and you want to build that relationship. And then I've got add 25 new tribe girls as friends. So that's why I have to do a minimum of 25 ads, whether or not they accept me. That's what I go and do. 5 brand new conversations. So pretty much how I engage in my hot list, engage in my potentials Facebook wall. I also send them a private message and just start new conversations. So 5 new conversations a day. It doesn't mean it comes into Juice Plus. My intention is to build the relationship and then follow it and see how it flows into Juice Plus. And 8 stories a day. Does anyone know what a Facebook story is? I wasn't watching, I was reading off my screen. Yep. Facebook stories, if you're not using them, this is a great way, just making sure everyone's muted, to share your lifestyle. Because I first started using them on Instagram. If you use Instagram, you can actually hook them up to both. If you're on your phone, you can only do stories on your phone. And if you're at the top of your Facebook newsfeed and you get the little circles of everyone's pictures at the front, they're the stories. So you can add your own. So these are things, Amber Trigger and loving stories. That's it. These are things where every day I'll have a picture of my capsules. So people can see me taking them every day. Today I did a story about getting caught in the rain. Look at this. I do entertaining things. You want to do about 8 per day because you don't want to flood it too much, but you want to do enough that people want to see what you're doing. You know, you're going for a run or you be vulnerable. Today's rainy. I'm pigging out on the couch with some chocolate and my movie because the universe sucks right now. Because it does right now because it's raining. So start building those stories. You don't have to put your face in it, guys. So if you're already like, oh, I'm a bit scared, just don't put your face in it, you know, and then start to build up to having yourself in it. How do you maximize the stories? I don't know what you mean by that. So you have to be more specific. And then I have on the bottom of my checklist, I have what I do on a weekly basis. Every Tuesday, I do customer care and reports, check declines, check promotions, check qualifies. Some of that doesn't apply to you when you're brand new. Totally cool, but it's just when you're starting to build a team, guys, this is where you treat it like a business. Everyone can do customer care from the day they join. Anyway, I felt like I was full monojo then telling you all of that, but I wanted to share with you what I do. And it's not, as I said, if I don't do everything on the list, I'm not going to beat myself up about it because then I have, it's on Excel and I have 31 columns down the list. I have what I do and I put a green square in the thing if it's done on the day, red square if I didn't do it. And then I can just look back, and what it's good when Simon will check in with me, and you know, you can use me or Naomi or your upline as accountability buddy. You just go back at the end of the month and you check in. Okay, what results were you looking for? Did you hit the goals you wanted to? Can we go back and see, okay, where did you maybe slack off a little bit? Where can we pick up the pace? Okay, I'm breathing now. Does that make sense? Did we get all that? Fantastic. I'm sweeping it straight over to Naomi. Any questions, chuck in the chat and I can type. I just muted you. Sorry. All right, there we go.
Oh, good. All right, that was so awesome, Kim. Like, I think that one of the biggest things that I could probably offer you guys is that, going back probably about 6 months ago in my business, I completely changed how I went about things. And that was because obviously, you'll find as you grow in this business, what you need to be doing does change. Your team grows, your business grows, your customer base grows, what you need to know and learn changes, and the kind of responsibilities that you have change a little bit. So, but in terms of the actual, I guess, method of operation, like the principles behind running your business, they always stay the same. It doesn't really matter if you've been in this business a day or 6 months or a year or 10 years. The actual principles all come, down to the same thing. And something that really, really helped me was about 6 months ago, I kind of set my day up around my mindset and around my goals. So I just had this really strong thing about, before this business, I didn't really understand what it meant to set goals. I didn't have goals. I didn't, sort of have things that I wanted to, break down and achieve and feel accomplished and all that kind of thing. I was just a stay-at-home mum. So I didn't really understand the importance and the power in setting goals. And so one of the biggest things that I would love to be able to sort of get you guys to understand is that by really knowing what you want and knowing what you're trying to achieve and what you want to accomplish out of this, then that's actually going to give you a clear direction on what the little how-tos are every day. Because there's, everyone's going to have a different level of goals and play at a different level, and that's completely okay. But when you know what it is that you're going after, then it's really, really easy to work out what it is that you need to be doing every day. If you want to be, NMD 24 club in 12 months, then you're going to need to be talking to probably 50 people a day. But if you want to be NMD, in 5 years and do it in and around, your full-time job and all that kind of thing, then obviously those kinds of daily actions can change. But I love that this business really does come down to that kind of numbers game, where you can break it down and you know what it is that you need to do. So, I like when you are really, really clear on why you're doing this, and your why is based all around those goals, those personal things that you want to achieve, then, like I said before, the how becomes easy. So, working out what works for you. I'm not someone that's going to get up, 2 hours before the kids and have my lemon tea and do my yoga. I know that is amazing for other people and it sets them up the right way, but it's not me. I did try that. It did not set me up in, a real, in a good mindset or anything. I'm a night owl. So I get most of my to-do list done of an evening. I just feel like it's when I can really get into my flow. I can think clearer. The kids are in bed. I've got my glass of wine. I can nut out posts. I can, nut out messages. I can, it's just when I work well. So, don't take away from this that, we all do things a certain way, and just because it works for one person that it's going to work for you. You've got to work out what works for you and when is the best time where you're really going to, have that flow with how you want to do things. So, yeah, that's probably a really, really important thing, because I tried it one way. It was a massive waste of time for me. You really do have to work out what empowers you and, what sets you up for success. What time of day is a huge thing. So, in terms of the actual little bits and pieces, like I'll often, because I am a night owl, I'll often set up the next morning's post the night before. So, I won't schedule it, but I'll literally have it, written out. I know what image I'm going to use. It's my first post of the day is normally like an inspirational, quote, thought of the day blurb kind of thing. And I'll literally have that saved in my notes on my phone. I'll know what image I'm using. And then it's literally like I can open my eyes, even if the kids are screaming at me or whatever. And it's literally just like a copy and paste and put the image up. And, my first post is up for the day. And that straight away for me is like a tick in the morning. Do you know what I mean? I just feel good when I've got that done. And yeah, because like I was saying, most of my mornings are more, frantic than fabulous. So if I can be a little bit prepared in that way, then yeah, you can sort of still go about your morning with, knowing that you kind of organized to that sense. And, when I say, I use the word organized when it comes to me very loosely, it's probably more like organized chaos, but I still, it's functional for me, if that makes sense. I think I feel like if everything is too rigid, then as soon as I, go off that course, I feel like I'm losing or failing or something like that. So I've just learnt to have this really fluid way of organising my business, and it really is what works for me. So be flexible. The fact is that this is a lifestyle business. And when I say, be fluid and be creative in your thinking. For instance, if you've got these holidays are a great example. If you have a jam-packed couple of weeks and you're out and about with the kids and hubby's got time off work and you're doing a whole lot of things and going a whole lot of places and seeing people that you don't normally see, use that time. Take lots of photos. When you're feeling really great about yourself, take lots of photos on the same day, even selfies, things like that. And you can use all of those things for, posts in, for the next couple of months. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you've got 1 week, you've got to jam pack 100 posts into a week and then you've got nothing for the next 2 months. Use the opportunity to take really good images and then spread them out for different posts over the next few months. Obviously don't do a Christmas one in 2 months' time, but I'm just saying, things that are kind of generic. So, you on the days when that you're feeling really good about yourself, and your hair's good or you're just feeling amazing, take the opportunity to take 50 selfies in different angles and different ways. And, this is one of the tips that Kim told me that I know that she got off someone else, and, take a few photos and go in and change your top and come back out and take some more photos. Do you know what I mean? Mix it up a bit, but use the opportunity when you've got that flow happening, just do it. And then you've got, an abundance of great images that you can use for gratitude posts and for, shout outs and, all sorts of things. They're all different, inspirational sort of little blurbs and messages that you can attach these kinds of images to. And it's just all about being prepared. So, make the most of opportunities as they come up. Same as when with the kids, they're being quite cooperative one day, you can get a few extra photos and stuff like that out of them. You can just have a scroll through my Facebook to look at the kind of things that I'm talking about and the way that you can kind of work it in with demonstrating the lifestyle that you're living. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to portray the lifestyle that we're living through this business. My main non-negotiables every single day, obviously because of the way that I've built my business, is social media. Definitely posting. I usually do 3 to 5 posts a day. That's from day one. I've always done that. 3 to 5 posts a day and adding new friends. So building my online network. If you can kind of stick to those basics, then you're doing the fundamentals of what this business is, which is building your online network and therefore getting greater exposure to the posts that matter, and being able to give yourself the opportunity to have more of those conversations. So, that's probably where I will leave that. That's it from me, Kimmy.
Love it. Yay. Thank you, Naomi. That was so good. I'll get you to mute yourself if you could, please. Guys, just between me and Naomi, we're both NMDs. We've done these at different speeds, at different ages in our life. Can you see how we're pretty much, as much as we are the same person when it comes to wine and cheese and what we like to do in our outside of business life, but when it comes to business, can you see how different we are? I need structure. I need to be rigid. That works for me. It keeps me accountable. You might be like, Kim, please don't tell me to do all that stuff because it's freaking me out. I'll be like, cool. And see how Naomi says it, where she bases it on principles. As long as you get your stuff done, make it work for you. I tried doing that. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. It makes it. I just need the whip. Maybe I need a Hitler or so, I don't know. Maybe I was Hitler in my past life. No. So the reason Naomi was talking a lot about the posts and setting up what you're portraying on social media is it's how you're going to attract your people, right? You want to be attractive. Another thing I want to say quickly before I hand over to Tab is also don't forget that I do this now full time. I'm 26. I don't have children. I don't have to do anything else but teach 1 Pilates class a week for fun. So I can sit down. I'm a mornings person. I'm not a nighttime. Once it's nighttime wine, I'll message a few people, but I'm with Daniel. So for me, I can do my checklist. 2 to 3 hours is a lot of time to get it done, and I can put the time into it. Naomi, even though she might not be at work, she still is a full-time mum, and with kids that aren't always in school. So and kids' life is crazy. I can't vouch for that, but I know it's crazy, right? Now you're going to hear from Tab, I'll let you talk a little bit more about what you do, but Tab works full-time as a nurse, I'm pretty sure. So crazy hours and whatnot. And Tab puts on 10 customers a month minimum, and she has not gone under that. I think I've only ever put on 10 customers a month twice in 2 different months over 4 years. So that's epic. Her accountability on herself is huge. So I want her to share what she does. So I want you guys to take away little points of what all of us say and see what works for you. And you can even private message myself and Naomi, as I said, and just go, look, I love this and I love this. And we might be able to come up with an accountability or some kind of structure or flow for you. Anyway, without further ado, let me hand over to the beautiful Tab.
Hi, everybody. How are we all? So my structure is I have 3 children. I work full-time as a dental nurse, and I've got this. So my life's pretty busy. So I'm a structure person and I'm a goals person. So my structure for the day is I get up and I grab my phone because my kids aren't awake yet, and I straight away put a gratitude or a goals post, like what are you aiming to do today or this week or something like that, and a gratitude or an inspirational, trying to get people thinking about what they're going to do for the day and are they going to, tick some boxes. That's my first post. Then obviously I've got kiddies that are going to try and hop in the picture here. Kiddies that, hang on, take the 2 hours on. Then I try and get my kids ready for school, and while I'm doing that, I actually listen to inspirational. Les Brown is a really big favourite of mine, gets me in my mojo, not only for this, but also for my work, because my work's pretty intense. And then I don't normally do another post until about 9 o'clock at night when, kids are usually in bed and the husband's in bed. And, I know lots of mums out there usually get on their phones when the kids are in bed and try and catch up what everyone's been doing. So that's another time that I post either inspirational or a Juice Plus something or other. Usually it's a story of mine. I also like to do a live or a video. I try and do one a week. At 9 o'clock, I usually do my last post, but I also do care calls and messages to customers and to new people, like people that I've been chatting to about either the product or the business. What else have I got written here? I do a weekly declines on a Sunday night before my busy week starts. So I'll do my genealogy report and print off and check my declines and message my teamies and say, hey, can we chase these up? Because there's nothing worse than getting to the end of the month and you're trying to frantically text 10 people because they've had a decline payment because they got a new card. So that's something that I like to do. And my biggest thing is adding people on Facebook. I try and add at least 10 people every single week to my Facebook, whether I'm part of a few dental forums, so I might chat to people not about Juice Plus, but then I'll become friends with them, then I'll add them to my private page. So adding people to Facebook page is really good because the people you've got, you don't want to get stale. You want to keep, having people that are interested in what you do. I do Facebook, Instagram. I do story in Facebook, and I also do story in Messenger. I've noticed my Messenger in the last month has gone up at least 30 people. When you put your story in Messenger, on the bottom left-hand side, there's a little circle and it's got a number in it. And if you press that number, you can see who's following you, whether they've just become friends. Like, you can actually stalk them. And I tell you, people that are watching my story on Messenger have never, ever, ever commented on one post on Facebook or Instagram, and I know they're watching me, and I live in a fairly small town just like Naomi, a little bit bigger than Naomi, but I know who they are, I know who they're related to, and I know whether they're friends with the 4 other teamies in town. So, you know, if you do a bit of stalking and a bit of background, you can pretty much find out who they are, what they've had for breakfast, and who their friends are, and if they've been, you know, anywhere, and, you know, oh, I've seen you've been on a holiday, how's it going? So social media, you know, get to know people. That's my biggest tip. Yeah, that's about all for me, I think. I think I'm done. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Tab.
Hope that helped.
That was great. Woo, well done for stepping up and sharing on Zoom. We really appreciate it. I'll get you to mute you, if you could, please. All right. How cool is that? That was exactly half an hour of epicness. Now, if you get overwhelmed by all of that info, we're not asking you to do it all. We're just trying to inspire you with what works for us. And it might work for you. Or, you know, if you have something that you love to do every day, chuck it in the chat, share it with people. And another thing is, guys, we did talk a lot about social media, and I want you to fall in love with social media, because I used to hate social media. And a lot of us still have that because of the stereotype behind it. Guys, this is how my mindset is. I get paid money to be on social media. My personal page is a reflection of me, and I get paid to be me. How cool is that? If you're worried about, or you just want to keep it family and friends, that's why you have Messenger, that's why you have text message, and that's why you call your family and friends to catch up with them or organize catch-ups, right? You don't need to rely on Facebook to keep up to date with people. Look at it as it's your business platform. If Mark Zuckerberg's going to make a shitload of money from doing Facebook, why can't we, right? And Facebook's just your main source of social media. If you use Instagram, whatever, Snapchat. Now, some of you might still love face-to-face. Now, I'm a face-to-face person. If I meet anyone on social media and make new friends, like my girl, I've forgotten how to pronounce your name. It's so funny. Sassy. She's probably laughing at me. We met, you know how you call people babe all the time? Like my gorgeous girlfriend. And we met on social media, and we're like, oh my God, we totally click. Let's catch up. First thing we did, glass of Prosecco down at the beach. But being face to face, it's like, yep, we understand each other. We want to do this. And you know, when I'm face to face with people, that's when the magic happens, right? Or we do Zoom, like the gorgeous Belinda who's on the call, and Olivia, my brand new team, is all the way over on the eastern states. Like we had to do a video chat. Like, let's do a video call. Let's meet each other. So if you're that person who you like, I just want to be in front of them, use your video apps or whatnot, but you can start through social media, and then you build those relationships. And most of you guys, like, we built relationships because most of you are on the East Coast. It's all through video. So I just want to make a point of that as well. You said it right. Fantastic. I can't believe I forgot. I had a total brain fart. Cool. Right. We've just got our 9-minute warning. Does anyone have any questions? Please, this is your time to ask now. If you don't want to take yourself off mute, you can put it in the chat. No such thing as a stupid question. Or do you want to share something? Otherwise, you know me, I can keep talking. I'll just pop it on gallery view. Did you want to wave? I can take you off mute. Any questions? Do you want to share something that they love doing every day? Belinda, how do you put live stories in Messenger? And when you go into your Messenger app and it lists all the names, across the top, it will do the same thing. There'll be circles with people's pictures, and you just touch it and it plays. I thought it was the same as Facebook. Obviously, it's different. Thank you, Tab, for that. So if you're strapped for time, you could probably save your story off Facebook and then maybe repost it. I don't know if you can do that or not. Otherwise, doesn't take that long. You can only film for about 15 seconds anyway, or take a photo. So yeah, when you go on your Messenger, actually that's a really good point, because doing it in both, because not everyone will check their Facebook newsfeed, but everyone checks their Messenger, right? I love that. And it's so good with stories, because you could take the shittiest photo of your capsules that you will not put on social media, on your Facebook feed, because you're like, that lighting was shocking, but you can chuck it on stories because it's like a Snapchat. Ashley Gunson, can you be a bit more specific on your weekly process tasks? Do you mean the ones that are at least once a week, or the ones that I just listed out? Because that will be way too long. Just let me know. While she's asking, does anyone else? Oh, Tab, were you waving? Yes.
The other thing with the story on Messenger and Facebook is that it doesn't get kept. It only stays up there, I think, for 72 hours. So you can put like 10 photos up in one day and it will only be there that day and the next day, and then it disappears. So you don't have to watch someone's 6 month worth of stories. It doesn't last that long. And that's the best thing, is that they don't stay there. No one can see them once they disappear. So you can put whatever you want up there. It has not going to tarnish you in any way. So, yeah, little tip.
Perfect. Thanks, babe. It's so true, because if you do something silly that you might be like, you don't want it permanently on your Facebook wall, but it's just, you just chuck it on there, right? And people are constantly seeing you being consistent. Now, another thing I'll touch on while I wait for Ash to be a bit more specific on her question is, I know some of you might be like, yeah, but I don't want to bombard my social media with Juice Plus. Can I get a show of hands if anyone has those thoughts? Those of you with a video. Yeah, we all have them, right? If you post, if you're a customer and you just shared, like I got a customer in the UK and she just fully spammed Juice Plus, not spam, she just put Juice Plus on her Instagram and tagged me and wrote Juice Plus and had the picture. No fear, nothing, because she was a customer. This is what I use. It's because you are a franchisee, you automatically put a mindset on yourself that you feel like you're selling, because at the end of the day, we are selling something, right? But when you post, don't post because you're a franchisee, post because you are a raving fan. Because we're all raving fans, right? If you're not a raving fan, you will not be successful in this business. I'm very honest with you there, because the sale comes from the passion. The inspiration comes from your passion. Yeah, so get over the fact of that and do your 2 posts a day. So if you do want to do a healthy living Juice Plus style post every day, whether that's using the products or rocking the business, and you don't want to, and you want to do it every day, but you don't want it to be just all Juice Plus, 2 posts a day. Your in-between post is something completely irrelevant to Juice Plus, but it shows you and who you are. That's just a way I would coach it anyway. Ashley said the last task on your everyday checklist, maybe something you could talk about. The thing I do once a week is every Tuesday. This was my last thing that I said. Every Tuesday, because reports update on Tuesdays. It's 24 hours behind because it's in American time. So like if you check your reports Monday, it's still Sunday in America. So any stuff from the weekend might not have paid or whatnot. So the best time to check your reports is after lunchtime. So Tuesday afternoon, your genealogy, because then all payments would have run and then you're up to date with the declines or whatnot. And every Tuesday I check it, do the same thing. I check through my customers and I check through my new team to help them, because some of you guys will be like, Kim, what reports are you talking about? I will teach you, don't worry. And I do my customer care. So the way I do it is I add up all my customers, cancelled or declined or active. So I've got a list on Excel and I just keep adding to it. And every Tuesday I text a quarter of that number. So then by 4 weeks, it's the full amount. The next month starts, I'm back again. And I do that. So, and customer care is I send them something, some info, I check in with them. Best thing to do with customer care is call them and ask them how they're going. If not, send them a message, ask them how they're going. If you want to add value, I always send them a little picture or something cute. Another great thing, while I still have time, I wanted to add in is this is an idea for a post. If you don't want to keep just posting Juice Plus capsules and smoothies and whatnot, right? Is find something that's an inspirational thing about being healthy, or a motivational quote, and type up your little spiel and then tag in the post 5 of your customers or all of your customers and make it say, shout out, absolutely love this, wanted to spread the love today with everyone that is in my world, or whatever it might be. And when you tag them, they'll get it, right? And it might increase some engagement on your Facebook. So people are, and how good is it when someone else tags you in a post and you see it and it's like a little love message and you're like, oh, they thought of me. You know, out of 2,000 friends, they only tagged 20 people. Yay. You know, I'm one of them. So anyway, that's this idea. We got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I might just stop the recording.